show them this enclosure you guys built?
Yeah. So
Hey.
this was a enclosure that we designed in class. It's a bandpass. We wanted to design something somewhat complicated, something that was a little bit more involved than just a sealed or ported enclosure. And one thing that we did was made the port adjustable. So we were able to add length and stack more length onto that port so that they can see and understand how and listen to how extending the port changes the sound. So
There it is.
and it has one of the Comp C woofers in it that they built. So not only did they build a mid-range that, like we talked about earlier, but they also built a Comp C 10-inch subwoofer.
So that's what's in here.
And that's what's in there, yeah.
And some of the kids got to come and help you build this here. Okay.
Well, actually, we weren't able to. We did a
yeah.
different project. We did a project in the lab. It was a safety-sensitive thing.
Fair.
Yeah, so.
I think
couldn't have them back there running table saws and stuff.
one of my favorite parts about this class, though, is that they get to come here to Kicker, because, we're 10 minutes from campus a few times throughout the semester. So they get to come and see, the big boom room and, all the kind of knock your socks off sound, stuff that they have here.
Yeah, they got to hear the Bronco.
But then after we build the speakers, we bring them back and they have to actually test the speakers out and see how they did.
Yes.
It's not the easiest thing to put one of those things together. And,
yeah, especially by hand, no jigs or well, we did have a jig for the voice coil to keep it centered.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's just hand built. We don't have nice glue dispensers, and we're not able to spin the woofer real easily like they do at the factory. And
Yeah.
So it's cool that they were able to pull it off and make some speakers that actually worked.
Some
Building
of
them by
them
hand
worked
in a
better than
classroom.
others.
Yeah, not all of them worked, which is to be understood.
Yes,
Again, it's
yes.
pretty challenging.
But also the way that real science works,
Yeah.
not everything's going to work. And then
For
figuring
sure.
out what it was that maybe didn't work as well. Maybe you got to solder a little better. The glue needs to be different. We learned that a lot the first year.
Yep.
Okay, so I think we should play some bass.
All right, so since instrument making was a big part of our class, and in fact, we had a ton of different majors, students with different majors in our class. Some music majors. What are some other ones, Liz?
Engineers, accountants, I think.
What are you all majoring in?
Aerospace.
Yeah, what do we got?
Music? Anthropology. Great store. Chemical engineering. Connor? Mechanical and aerospace. Okay.
So lots of engineers.
Yep.
I think one feedback I got about our course, which maybe I have to think about, is unfortunately I think for a lot of the music majors, and maybe Sam can correct me, is at our time, there's a lot of other stuff that going on in the music department, and so it can be hard to fit our time with their schedule. But I love that we have folks from all different backgrounds who are interested in what we have to offer. So
Yeah, so we have a couple of musicians. We had lots of musicians, actually.
yeah.
But we're going to have these guys come up and each take a turn playing the bass and showing you guys how this Kundt tube works. So,
Who's up?
As we discussed earlier, the resonance is 110 hertz, which is an A note. So I'm sure they'll noodle around a little bit and play some other notes, but you'll see really good activity when they hit that A. There you go. Yeah. So he's playing an A there, and as you can see, there's a lot of activity in the middle of the tube, and there's a dead spot at this end, and there's a dead spot at the other end. Because what's happening is as the sound comes off of the speaker, it's going to the other end, it's bouncing back, and as it does that, it has some deconstructive and some constructive interference. So by deconstructive interference, it's going to have some areas of cancellation. By constructive interference, the two waves are going to combine with each other and actually amplify. So that's what you're seeing in that tube.
Yeah, the A is great, but if I tried to give it some gorillas or something. It just doesn't seem to care. It only wants that A. I was actually just kind of wondering, not even for the purpose of the show, why is that it only responds so strongly to that single?
Because that's the resonance of this tube. This diameter and this length and this rigidity
Okay, so
determines.
it's like the size
Yep.
Something too.
Determines that frequency.
See it go.
And then if you play an octave higher A, then you'll see that there'll be another null and another area of activity. So maybe try this one right here. There you go. So it's pretty responsive to that one. That's going to be your 110 hertz right there. So.